What's up, y'all? Back with another car video. Car videos are the best, period. But y'all, so this video, somebody messaged me for this video because they want to show one of our old friends, and the original video got deleted from my YouTube. Well, my other YouTube got deleted. So this is a whole nother YouTube. So I'm gonna just redo this video, whatever. Hopefully, it gets around. But anyway, this video is how my friend, let me see if I can open this. Is that good or no? How my friend started dating my ex, y'all. Like real tea. And I got me some fruit, period. Got me some fruit. BOGO sale, buy one get one free at Winn-Dixie. But yeah, this video is about how my friend started dating my ex, which is crazy. But yeah, you gonna do a little bit. But anyway, how my friend started dating my ex, y'all. So if you know me, you know that I went to like a boarding school type vibe. And you went to school there and you slept there. So if you know, you know. But anyway, so, oh, this is good. These blueberries. Y'all like blueberries? Those are good. So anyway, so I went to a boarding school where we went to school there. And we slept there. So, but it was like different buildings and whatever like that. I started going there in like sixth grade. So I started dating this dude. Let me see what I can call him. I'm gonna just call him old boy. So I started dating old boy. Years passed. So I started dating old boy in like I want to say ninth grade. Probably ninth grade. Yeah, probably like ninth grade. I started dating him in like ninth grade. So it was good. Like when I say the relationship was like, it was straight. Like although we went to a boarding school where we really couldn't hang out, like it was like when we did get to hang out, it was cool. Like we had rec time. We would chill at rec. We would text all of that. Back then we had like Kick and stuff like that. The app called Kick. And we had like Uvu and stuff like that. So we would do all that. Boom. So yeah, I started dating old boy in ninth grade. Everything was cool. Like, and he was like a sweetheart, honestly. I didn't really have any problems with him or nothing like that. I remember one time he did buy me an iPod. Like, I was so happy. Like, he had bought me keep in mind, that iPod is significant. So, he had bought me an iPod. I don't know if it was like for my birthday, because like during the summer times, like we would leave at school, like we would go home for the summer, and he stayed in another town, I stayed in another town. And if you know my mama, we had a boring childhood. I'm just kidding, but yeah, we just really didn't go over nobody's house or nothing like that. So for the summer we would just be separated, but we would like text, call, FaceTime and stuff like that. And then so I think it was for my birthday, and he just brought it to school. So he would work during the summer. Like he would work during the summer. I would work during the summer too. But he brought me back an iPod, y'all, and he put it in a like one of them long candy things, and he gave it to me. When I got it, I was like, what? But yeah, it was so sweet. So we started dating. Everything was cool, blah blah blah. It was one girl named I'm gonna just call her Tasha. It was cool, whatever. Boom, bam. And really and truly, everybody was pretty much cool because the school was so small. But I don't know, the school was small, so everybody knew each other and everybody was like cool with each other. But you had, sorry y'all, you had those friends who you was just more cool with. Y'all knew y'all was cool, blah blah. But anyway, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Like our relationship was cool. He was a sweet guy. I think we only broke up like maybe like once or twice, and it was on some kid little shit. But we pretty much got back together. So I want to say it was our 11th grade year. I was dating for about like probably like 2.5, 3 years. 3 years. I'm gonna say 3 years. Probably 3 years, yeah. So 11th grade year, we went, summertime, everybody separate. I still wasn't able to go see him, blah, blah, blah. But we was working. I was working at a daycare. He was working. He started working in a place up in North Carolina. Keep in mind, he gave me this iPod that is significant. in this story. But I also got an iPod from like at that school you get like sponsors and they'll get you stuff for Christmas. So I got an iPod for Christmas as well. So I had to. So yeah. And the iPod that he gave me, he had set it up already. Like his iCloud and stuff was linked to it. So his iCloud and everything was linked to it. So all his messages and stuff was coming and apps and stuff was already on that phone. But, I guess it didn't matter to him because at that time he wasn't cheating on me. But yeah. Yeah, that watermelon, that pineapples are good, and I don't really like pineapples. But anyway, so yeah, so 11th grade, we kind of went home and we both started working, blah blah blah. We would still talk, but then further on, a little later, the communication between us started getting like little and less and less and less and less. I was like, dang, what's the tea? Like, what's going on? So, and I wasn't really nosy, so I don't know, I wasn't really nosy, so I didn't really go through like none of his stuff or nothing like that. But then I started, for some reason, I went to notes. Like when I went to notes, it was like pretty much like him, like, I don't want to say confessing his love or just saying that who he liked and shit like that. So that's when it made me like want to go on his messenger, he had Pinger on the iPod. So I was getting the notifications on Pinger too. So, but I finally decided to go through it. Damn, I went through his Pinger and he was just talking to two girls in specific. One of them had a girlfriend, but she was still flirting with him too. But one of them had a boyfriend, but she was still flirting with him. But she was kind of pushing him off at the same time. Like, you could tell that she wanted him a little bit, but she couldn't take it there because she fucked with her boyfriend. Then the other one, she worked with him too. And she was definitely flirting with him. It was a lot of flirtation shit going on, blah, blah, blah. So, but I noticed that they obviously liked each other because it was like mutual flirtation and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is why. And I noticed that he was going out more with them. Like, it was no communication with me, but he was still like going out with them, making time to go out with them and stuff. Because I seen it on his Instagram. And then they would tag him and stuff on Instagram too. So I was like, damn. I think I seen like one inappropriate picture too that was made me like, okay, cool. So anyways, boom. So I was talking to one of my friends from the school. Like he was like an older head. Like he graduated like maybe like 4, 5, 6 years above me or whatever. Probably 7. But yeah, he hadn't graduated. I was telling him about it or whatever. We had got real cool because he was cool. But so he was like, you probably just need to go ahead and break that off. Go ahead and start your healing process. All this stuff. I'm young. I'm like, 17, 18, almost, still young, whatever. I was still in my feelings because I fuck with old dude. So, anyway, so that's what I did. So we finally started talking, and then I was telling him about that, and he was okay with it. I was like, damn, of course you're okay with it because you're already pretty much doing your own thing or whatever. Cool. So I started seeing more and more disrespectful messages, so I decided to like delete his information off that iPod, and I just deleted all the information off the iPod because I was just tired of seeing it and stuff like that. And then on top of that, I was able to get in his messenger. Oh my God, yeah, I was able to get in his messenger, y'all, and I seen so much shit. And then I seen him talking to his sister about the girl that he liked or whatever like that. And he was like, you think she liked me? Like, bitch, ain't you okay, cool, whatever. It's old, calm down. But anyway, so yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna fast forward because we end up going to school or whatever. And keep in mind, like I said, the school it's a boarding school, but in each class it's no more than like, we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, probably like at the most 8, 10 kids in each class. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And when we got back to school, he kind of made it seem like nothing was wrong or he didn't do anything wrong, which was crazy to me. But I played it cool. I definitely played it cool to the best of my ability. Because it was more going on than, like, it was just crazy. So, anyway, we got back to school. He tried to make it seem like everything was all cool or whatever. And then we had like a little recreation room where um we had like a little recreation room, like everybody got together, the girls and the boys, because majority of the time we were separated from the girls and the boys, like the girls and the boys were separated. But that time we was able to go to Rick and socialize with everybody. So what did I call that girl name? We gonna call her let's just call her Tasha. So I was talking to Tasha and she was basically asking me what happened, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I really truly don't know. So I said, go over there and I was like, go over there and see what happened. Like, see if he can tell you what happened. Bitch, when I tell y'all, she went over there and got this man got this man information and started texting him. I didn't know that they were texting. Me and her were still cool. We were still talking every day. Like, we were in the same building, everything. Y'all, when I tell you we was cool, sitting at lunch together, like everything. So the fact that she went over there, and then when I asked her, I said, what did he say? She couldn't really give me a valid answer. So I was like, I didn't think it was weird, but I just was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, so time goes on. And my homeboy at the school, I don't forget him, he's my homeboy to this day. He slid it by me. He was like, you know they texting and got something going on. I was like, who? He was like, old boy and Tasha. I was like, I know you motherfucking lying. Like, I know you lying. Like, it was just shocking to me because it was like, girl, you be in my face. Is that what we doing? So, yeah, you be in my face. Like, you be in my face. And keep in mind, like, oh, she had got his information, but I had gave her one of my iPods or whatever. She was using one of my iPods to text him. So when I found out that they were texting or whatever and dating, they were dating because they were dating at the time, but they just didn't really show it until I found out. And I found out they didn't really start dating. Showing that they were dating until like I found out, because I would guess they was like, well, she know now, so boom. Then they started sitting at lunch together. They started walking together, holding hands and shit like that. So yeah, so I ended up taking my iPod back. I was like, I'm gonna need that up off you. Like, if she didn't have a sorry. She didn't have shit. Like, it's like this girl was so nonchalant toward the whole situation. Like, she didn't give a fuck. Like, when I tell you she did not give a fuck, she did not give two fucks about what the fuck she had done. So I was like, dang, that's crazy or whatever. So I literally was staying in the same dorm with this girl. And then I was in the same class with this boy. So I literally was having to have this shit pushed in my face like every day. But like I said, I played it cool or whatever. Man, when I tell you all the dorm peers is like, how you feel about that? Now that's some trifling shit. And I was like, you know what it is, but I'm good or whatever like that. And I don't know. I was hurt, but I was like, damn, that fucked up. Like, and at that time I had told my dad, and he was like, hey, mama, shit happens. Like, just move on, find somebody else. Whatever you need to do, like, just don't spaz out. Cool. But after then, like, I guess they ended up breaking up. Let me say, because it was some more shit that happened too. So they ended up breaking up or whatever like that. And you could tell he was hurt by it. Like, I guess she, like, just broke up with him. He was actually, I don't really want to say love, but I think he liked her a lot. So, she ended up breaking it off with him or whatever. And baby, he was walking around like he had and lost his goddamn best friend. Keep in mind, me and him still didn't have a conversation. We still did not have a conversation to this day while we broke up. But fast forward, like, we have this thing called SCASB where we go to different states or whatever, like Texas, Mississippi and shit like that. We go to SCASB and compete like for track or wrestling or other cheerleading and stuff like that. So let me tell y'all, It was this one girl in my classroom. I'm going to call her Susie. Tell me why the fuck Susie started talking to him. Me and Susie was cool too, though. But we wasn't cool as me and Tasha, but we was cool. And I noticed that Susie was like, she just kept trying to buy me shit. Like, you need something from what? Because we would go to Walmart every Wednesday. They would take us to Walmart every Wednesday to get our household stuff or like personal needs and stuff. I was like, nah, I don't need anything. And she would try to give me Cokes and stuff like that. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need anything. Tell me why everybody started coming to me and said, you know him and Susie talking. Keep in mind, Susie is in my class too. I was like, dang. For real? And they was like, yeah. So I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But he wasn't really talking to her. He was just using her for fellatio. So we went to Scadsby and they planned up to go have fellatio in one of the boys' bathroom. So she did that at Scadsby. The word was going around. My cheerleading coach was just trying to just stay calm, stay calm. You told me to stay calm, but you ain't even handling this situation. She was too busy focused on just winning the competition. Whatever, cool. But yeah, like she was started talking to him too, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Let me see that he started talking to anybody else too. I knew he was talking to two people. I think he was just talking to those two people. Yeah, that's cool. But anyway, so after that, I just pretty much let it go. I started getting back cool with everybody because it was just showing that I was kind of pissed off at everybody because I was sick by myself. I wasn't fuck with nobody. I was quiet. I wasn't really saying nothing to too much of nobody except for one of my homegirls and one of my homeboys. That was it. I kid y'all not. I let it go. Everything went back to normal. I was still letting him do him. To this day, we still didn't have no conversation. But we ended up graduating that year, and I kid y'all not, we ran into each other in the highway. I was thinking he was gonna say something to me, but baby, he didn't say a fuck thing to me. He didn't say a fuck thing to me. Y'all, when I tell you to this day, that got me like, bitch, you don't need no friends. You do not need no friends because, baby, people are trifling. That right there made me realize that people are trifling. People will do some grimy stuff behind your back and act cool. Because it was the fact that both of them knew that they was doing trifling stuff behind my back, but they was still in my face acting like everything was all cool. And it's not a big ass school, so I had no other choice but to see them every day. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, that's where my trust issues came from with friends. That's why I don't have friends. I realized that. That's why I don't have friends. And it took me early on like that. Baby, you won't get me again. You will not get me again. That shit was crazy how they was like sitting in my face, acting like nothing was going on. Whole time they was sneaking and geeking. And keep in mind, oh, it was another girl too. It was another girl too, y'all. It was Tasha, it was Susie, and I'm gonna just call the other girl Alexa. He was talking to Alexa. She wasn't in my class. She was in the class lower than me, but me and her was cool too. She was on a cheerleading team with me, y'all. I kid y'all not. I was like, dang, like that shit was crazy. She was like nothing was going on too, and she was going over his house. She was going over his house every weekend, and his sister low-key liked her, which was crazy. But hey, they just hey. But anyway, so yeah, it was just crazy. Like, it was 3 girls that he was talking to that was all in my face and like nothing was going on. Nothing was going on. Crazy. And that is exactly why I have trust issues. That's why you don't trust these hoes or these men. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like I said, I got over it or whatever because I still had to deal with it and still be at their school and stuff like that. But I think I talked to him. Did I had talked to him like one time since we've been out of school, and it wasn't nothing about. It was just like how you been and stuff like that. But it wasn't nothing major. Wasn't no accountability or nothing. But it's been years. It's been like 12 years. But still, somebody asked me for this video, so I just redid it. More of the story. Fuck a friend. Bye.